This is sprint 1 for Team Trippy. This is our team. And these are our major accomplishments for this sprint. For me, what I did was create the FAQ page where all that information can be displayed. There's also a field to search that information, a field for the admin to add new FAQs, and a field to contact the administration. Ustav, he worked on creating a login page that contains 2 text input fields for email and password, which checks for the correct format. Tommy, he worked on a submit button that sent credentials to the backend server, which provided a check against credentials in the database and then generated a token. Andrew was able to create an admin page that displays all the user accounts and a reset password button and a delete user button. Morningstar worked on the global navigation bar and footer with all the page routes and links necessary. Papa created the profile page where there is an edit button which provides 3 fields to input data. Once that is saved, it is saved in the database. Russell worked on account creation where users can navigate to a page where they can register for an account. They can enter their information into a form and click a button to create the account with an encrypted password and then is redirected to the login account. Mohammed created an events page where there is a list of events which are displayed on a card. Each card has an image, name, date, and location. Vincent worked on a recommendation page that has destination recommendations with tabs, points of interest, and other pertinent information. He also worked on a forums page where people can post and that user's info is displayed. Taylor was able to create a search bar on our home screen to be able to get those recommendations. Those forms fields include destination, departure, and return. These are my user stories for Sprint 1. So my first child user story, as an admin, I want to be able to display FAQ changes so that the user can see them. Here is the FAQ page. This is where you can see that data inputted on the page, and that is formatted correctly to fit the layout of the page. As an admin, I want to see the text field so that I can add a new FAQ. The text field is laid out on the page at the top, and this says new FAQ here. As a user, I want to see the FAQ information displayed on the page so that I can find the information. So we can type here, for example, just type some stuff here, and then that data is bound so that it shows back up on the page. And that information shows up in the correct area where the other FAQs are. As a user, I want to be able to navigate to the FAQ page so that I can see the information, which we did earlier. We can go back to home, to FAQ, and everything is showing up properly and the route is right. Page is successfully created, which it was. And then the correct page, which is the FAQ page, shows up with all the correct information here. As a user, I want to be able to search the FAQ so that I am able to find what I need. Able to see a text field for search and able to input text here as well. As a user, I want to be able to contact the administration so that I can get the information I need. And we have a form here where you can do that. It's currently only front end. So here we have a text field for the name, which you do. Here you have one for the email. And then you can display it or send a message and then hit the button there to submit that.
These are the child user stories worked on by Tommy Walker. As a user, I want to click on the login button so I can be notified when I have successfully and unsuccessfully logged in. Render a warning upon incorrect login and do not issue any type of warning whenever login is successful. That is the acceptance criteria for this child user story. So I will demonstrate a incorrect login with the alert. and shortly I'll demonstrate a correct login. My second child user story is, as a user, I want to click on the login button so I can log into my personal account. The login page must contain a submit button to send credentials to the backend server. Credentials must check against the credentials in the database, and if the correct credentials are provided, then to generate said user a Java Web Token. So here I will go ahead and display a correct login, which is why I wanted to show the database first. So we're messing with the demo1 user, which is here. So you can see that he does not have a token in the database. I will go ahead and log in with the correct password. And there it takes away that alert. It doesn't do anything here. And if we go back and check our backend, our database, we refresh it, the demo1 user now has an active token in this row. Alright, thank you very much.
Hello, this is Robbie Walters, and these are the child user stories that I worked on during Sprint 1. As a user, I want to enter my email so that I can securely log in. So I will show you the login page. And here's the login. You'll have two forms, one for email and one for password. Email text input must be for an email format, must check for email format. And so whenever we press it, we type in an email, um, and then test 1, 2, 3. If I hit login, it will check and see if it correctly is the email format. If it isn't, it will throw us an error, and I can show you that as well. And as you can see, it will give us an error whenever the email is not correct or the password's not correct. Email field must be required to fill out to submit a login request. And if neither this email or password is filled out, and if I hit login, it will go ahead and give us an error that these two are not valid and need to be filled out correctly. As a user, I want to enter my password so that I can securely log in. A login page must contain a text input for fields for password. Password text input must not appear in plain text. Password field must be required to be filled out to submit login request. So as I mentioned, we have a text input for a password, and whenever we type a password in, you cannot visibly see it. If a user does want to see what the password is as they're typing, they can click on this icon, and then they will be able to view what the password is. But then it also can be created secretly. Additionally, passwords must be required to be filled out to submit a login request. And if the password is empty and if the email is valid, then we will still get the error that we need a password to be able to make this request. So that is all that I worked on this sprint. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Andrew King, and these are my child user stories for Sprint 1. So for my first child user story, as an admin, I want to see a list of user accounts so I can manage current users. So the first acceptance criteria is admin page is accessible through the navbar. So here on the right, we have our web app Trippy. So if you go over to the navbar under my account, you have user list for admin. This takes you to the admin utilities page. So acceptance criteria 1 is met. Acceptance criteria 2, admin page displays list of properly formatted user accounts. And as you can see here, a table is formatted for each user associated with a current account. So moving on to user story number 2. As an admin, I want to see account modification buttons so I can modify user accounts. Acceptance criteria 1 is admin page displays individual reset button for each user. So over here on our web app, you can see that each user has an individual reset password button associated with the user. And acceptance criteria 2, admin page displays individual delete button account for each user. And same thing over here, you can see delete account associated with each individual user.
This is Morningstar Cornell with User Stories, a trippy travel website for Sprint 1. My child user stories are: as a user, I want to see the navbar items so that I can navigate the site. Acceptance criteria. User can navigate the site through a fixed global navigation bar that stays with the user as they navigate the site. When the user clicks on the home link, the site will navigate to the home page. When the user clicks on the register link, the site will navigate to the registration page. When the user clicks on the login link, the site will navigate to the login page. When the user clicks on the FAQ link, the site will navigate to a FAQ page. When the user clicks the My Account dropdown and clicks My Profile, the site will navigate to their profile page. Here is our website. When you click on the home link, it goes home. FAQ goes to FAQ. In the My Account, Profile, Create Account, is the registration page. We also have forums and recommendations. As a user, I want to see the About Us page so that I can see the members of the team. Acceptance criteria. User can see the About Us link through a fixed global footer that stays with the user as they navigate the site. When the user clicks the About Us link on the footer, the site navigates to the About Us page. In the footer is the About Us link. And as you can see, when we go to any other page, it's here. And you can click back there. It shows all the members of the team and their roles. That is all for my user stories.